Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So last video we have been discussed Replit, right? We built an app by giving some natural language text to an agent, and that agent has built an app for us. So in continuation to that Replit related series, this is the second video, which is gonna be give more granular details of Replit AI tool, what kind of feasibilities that it is having, and how you can build an application, what are its pros and what are its cons. And then we'll also gonna explore how it is generated that app what we demoed, the finance app we demoed, right, in the video. If you have not watched that video, you just go to my channel and there you can see an app, Finance Pro app, which we built with Replit AI tool by giving natural language instructions, and we built that application. So I'm just covering the brief introduction about Replit, and then we'll just slowly move on to the next nitty gritties of this Replit tool. So first of all, Replit, it is not a new tool, it's an online IDE. So we know that, right? IDE, it's an integrated development environment where we're going to code everything, or else where you are going to have your terminal, you're going to debug something, or you want to preview the output of something. So that kind of environment, that we call it as an IDE. It's an online IDE, because other IDEs you have to download that software into your machine, and you should have been open that, and you should have been add, or else you're going to debug your code, or you can run that code, or you can install something. So those kind of things will be done in your local software. Let's say if you're seeing here, right, the below one, Visual Studio Code. Similar way, you'll also have your IDE, but it's an online IDE which can be shared across to your team who is working collaboratively in online. So that is fine, because it's a regular IDE, right? So what is given more credibility to the Replit in the AI version? So Replit AI is actually bringing lot of things, because it actually integrated that IDE with the capability, in-house capability, with an AI agent. So what does that mean by? Let's say you have a Chat GPT application which has been developed by OpenAI. Similarly, you have Gemini AI, right? So likewise, every company is actually creating their application to support a natural language based query, and which is going to respond back another natural language output. Let's say as a human, you are asking some information in a human based language, human understandable language, and machine understanding that human language, and interpreting that information, how the machine is going to understand it, and executing some set of tasks behind the scene, and giving the response back. The machine is giving the response back to machine code only, and that machine code again converting back to a natural language, so that the final output that we are seeing, like, hey, whatever the question that you asked, this is what the answer. The question that you asked is a natural language, and the answer you get from an AI agent also, it's a natural language. Similar way, what this Replit is doing is, like, in the IDE code editor tool, so they also integrated AI agent. Okay, what it is doing is, like, it is actually integrating the IDE related capabilities in an AI agent. Let's say from that agent, if you want to run, or you want to preview the application, you want to debug the application, or you want to run some terminal command over there, or you want to integrate some functionality, everything that you can give an instruction within natural language, where a human can understand that kind of natural language. So that's where we have this NLP we are calling, right? NLP is something called as, like, natural language processor, so which is going to accept natural language from a human kind of way, and that human input, it is going to be interpreting into the machine readable kind of format, and then it is going to convert the natural language output. So this Replit is doing, taking the natural language as an input, and it is generating a code. It is not generating a human response back. It is generating a code, because you are a developer, right? So you need an IDE for your development purpose. So this IDE has giving that capability by integrating that tool. It is taking a natural language as an input, and as an output, it is generating a code on behalf of some functionality. Since you are asking some functionality, technically how you want to do that functionality, you are giving that instructions in a basic way, or else you want to give your architectural flow. Based on that, it's generating the basic boilerplate of code for you in written. So you're giving an input, to this Replit AI agent tool mode is like you're just giving your natural language instructions, and it is returning back the code what you are supposed to look into it. That's where it is famous on developer side. Most of the developers are trying to use this Replit AI kind of tools. Well, they want to generate their initial kickstart of application. So that is where I was also going to this specific application Replit. This is what we discussed, right? So that is also they are talking about turn your ideas into apps. So what it is saying is like make me an app for small business owners that helps track water intake and stay hydrated throughout the day. So that's say you, if you're giving this kind of instruction to this AI, so it is going to take all this information, your business requirement information, and it is going to convert that to business requirement information what you given that into an application. So the code it is generated and it is giving a preview whatever that you given instruction, that kind of application it is building on the fly. So there no developer you need to hire, and then you have to do a setup of the code and all those things. That's the one thing, and top reputed companies are also using. That's where they are just giving that information also. And what kind of capability it is having, as I said, mid Replit agent. So here what it is saying is like if you see this specific information itself, it is just asking like optimize performance of my app and then make it more faster. That kind of instruction that it is given, it automatically taking that instruction and it is building it. Similarly, somebody is asking like build my app with some set of instructions, and after you given that instructions, it was asking like some kind of confirmation, and then finally it is generating the application. So that easy how it is working, like it is going to asking an approved plan and then it is generating the application based on your instructions that you given. And then what it is also doing is easily import design from tools like Figma and perfect them with visual editor. Let's say you have a Figma, because Figma is nothing but your design. Let's say you want to build your application, first step is like you're going to build how the functionality of my application is going to look like, how many number of screens in my application, and how many navigations that I'm having, how the member can navigate from one screen to another screen, how the journey flow between one screen to another screen, what kind of functionality or what kind of authentication, this kind of basic journey that we're going to cover in a Figma as a design. That's the first step, right? In your SDLC also we'll have design as first step process. So design is nothing but Figma is gonna is one of the tool. What they are saying is like you can integrate Figma with this AI agent mode of Replit, so that if you given that Figma link, it is gonna even generate the code of, on that Figma related whatever that you given design, right? That design related code it is gonna generate automatically. Whereas if in your real world without this Replit or else any agent related AI concept is not coming on our way, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take that Figma and based on our current what I would say UX framework, so we're gonna build those some set of components and we're gonna use that component what for this specific design, what kind of components I have to use. I have to make that template ready. For getting the template ready also, from the design to template in the sense the HTML file or else markup language, any web related code, or when you are working with a native application, when you want to generate a React native code or kind of thing from Figma, that is always not gonna be an easy task. It is obviously take some good amount of time. But whereas using this kind of AI agents like Replit, so you're gonna generate your output in an easy manner by just giving the Figma link, and it is gonna automatically generate your code from there. And on top of it also, even while you're importing the Figma, you want to make some on top of some kind of changes in the CSS or else some kind of coloring, any kind of customization that you want to do, you can even do. But you want to choose that option, you have a visualize kind of mode. That is where it is also giving an instruction here in this video if you see here. So it was making some color coding changes and it is actually going this visualize mode, right? So in the visualization editor it is just giving an option to choose the specific element and then make customization of it. So that is also been there. That way you can easily edit I mean you are not touching your code, you are just updating your functionality by just going with an UI based application. So that's simple. Similarly, let's say you want to build or else you want to integrate your application with some external parties, right? Because application is not going to be completed with only writing some basic code, right? Obviously it has to integrate with multiple activities. Let's say your application need an authentication. When I say authentication, right, so most of the times when you try to access your application, either it may gonna ask you to fill your mobile number or it's gonna automatically pops your phone number and it will ask you to sign up. or else it may ask you to sign up using your Gmail. That we call it as authentication to your application. So that kind of authentication stuff, or else you want to have, let's say your application have some kind of product catalog, and you are giving some instructions saying that you want to check out some kind of product from this catalog, you have to do payment. For that you have to have an integration to your payment gateway. Let's say your application is actually providing some kind of search capability. Nowadays most of the companies are doing this, right? In their application, on top of one of the place, maybe they are giving one option, search with some natural language text. Let's say I want to know some products which is having, this price range, and I was looking this kind of, properties of the specific information. So while you are giving that natural language instructions to in that search bar, it is actually giving the results. Those kind of open AI kind of integrated tools also you can able to integrate in your application. That's for that purpose you have a secret kind of concept, and you just go to secret and you have to give all your secret. When I say secret, right, so API keys, whichever the APIs that you want to integrate in your application flow, the third party applications or third party integrations, that kind of secret information you can have to give it here. That kind of information we are able to see here. And this is the correct, as I said, right, it's an online editor tool. So you can share this link, and you can even collaborate your team member virtually, not taking this information locally and then working from their end. So people from multiple locations can work on one single application, one single code base, by using this specific online editor is the other advantage that they are talking about. Similarly, as I said, right, SSO, single sign, when you are we might know this kind of process, right, ssfo, where you log into one of the application one time, and it related all products, you are no need to again relog in, because you already logged in one of its related application. So while you are accessing some of its sub applications in that specific portal, you no need to again relog in back. So ssfo can take care of that integrations and all that, and it's gonna what I would say, it's gonna complete your sign on behind the scene, and it's gonna pop up the application. Let's say you have a loan from HDFC. Similar, you also have a loan with the HDFC home loan. From HDFC actual application, when you're going to the home loan, from there it is automatically pops you to this HDFC home loan with these specific details. Again, you are not relogging into the HDFC home loan account separately, because you already logged into HDFC bank current. So that's the reason those kind of things will come under SSO. That kind of integrations also been there is what it is talking about. Similarly, you can also give role based access control, so that a few people can, let's say for few set of files you want to give access to few set of folks, so that other people will not touch the other related code, so that they'll not gonna make the application crash. So those kind of role based control also you can give for this IDE. And you can also deploy the application even in private mode, and even you can even deploy it in protected mode. That kind of information also it is giving. So that's it about complete information about Replit, where we have not covered these information in the previous video. So that's the reason I just want to cover here. I'm just going with the application also, whatever I've discussed, I'm just want to show you that information also. This is the one I said, right, agent mode. If you are going to the agent mode, you can give a natural language instructions here, and based on your natural language instructions, the application related code will be generated. So and the other one is like preview. It's an IDE, right? That's another option other than agent mode. It is also having a capability to preview whatever the changes that you made into this application. You can have that preview in this preview section. Similarly, you want to see a console output where it is failing kind of logging kind of information, you can just go with console. Similarly, you have a database related integration to your application, you can just go to this database section from here. So it can able to give you the information about your data connections and all. And the other one is like deployment. Let's say you are publishing this application, because they are also giving another option, like they also have an internal cloud. So they are having that space, and you can also publish your application into their cloud infra itself. You no need to have again go to AWS, GCP, or else Windows, Azure. So you can directly even deploy here at all, here itself. So that is also been there. That's where you can even publish your application once it is built. And then all other tools, I'm just going with all other tools also. The other thing, as I said, like authentication, you can even integrate the authentication stuff with some kind of pre-built tool, and it was already having some capabilities with authentication. If you click on it, it will gonna give you what are the list of authentication providers that it is currently supporting. That information will be there. Similarly, you want to storage some kind of object S3 kind of thing, you can relate this object storage is something like S3, simple storage place where you can store any kind of data. Whereas regular storage, you will not gonna store any kind of sequential data. So here in a S3 kind of place, you can store similar kind of information, how you can relate. Similarly, I'm just going with other rest of the options, assistant mode, and then code search. You want to search something, you can use this code search mode. And the console we already discussed. And you want to know the git workflow, who made changes on top of this file after we shared, since we are sharing this kind of access to multiple team members, right, in online. So you can also see the git versioning and all it. And you can also push this code to git as well. Similarly, networking information, what kind of server ports it is using, how many number of network connection ports that it is using currently to run the application and all, you can able to see. If any problems that are being there in the current application, you can view that in the problem section. And this is the other place, as I said, secrets is nothing but the API keys where you want to integrate your application in and further other applications. You can store those secrets here, and you should say while giving an instruction in agent mode, hey, I have this in API key, and use this API key for connecting this integration, API gateway integration. So that based on that information, it is try to gonna fill that information automatically and generate the boilerplate of integration with that information what you provided. Similarly, you want to have the shell script. I mean, this is nothing but you can view your command line, you can execute, or because it's a what I would say, Linux box, all our deployments is going to be deployed, right? Most of the companies are using this. So in that shell, you want to perform any operation, you can view this. Similarly, ssh is nothing but you, when let's say you want to connect this specific, online IDE, whatever the code that I was generated, you want to share this to your teammate where he can even locally access also. So to locally access this specific thing, you can use this SSH. It's a kind of file based, access that you can able to. That's what it is giving. Configure remote access to connect to this Ripple from another machine IDE. Similarly, you want to define some workflows, you can define from here, and then other documents and settings related information is there. So this is all about Replit end-to-end information. So we covered most of the end-to-end information, and thanks for watching this video. I'm going to add cons to this video maybe as a next video. If I can able to accommodate here, I'm trying to accommodate the cons section. Whatever that we covered is like, how we're going to use it, what kind of purpose, what kind of tool it is. Like, it's a generative AI based tool, because most of the times we are hearing these names, right? AI agent, generative AI, and then agentic AI. So this specific replet is comes under generative AI, since it is generating something back to you, right? You are giving some information, and agent is generating in return back to you. So here it is generating a code written back to us based on the information that we provided. So that generative AI tool is Replit comes under. And we're going to discuss cons in the separate video, or I'll try to complete this as a continuation to this. Thank you so much. Please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching this video. Please stay connected with Tech Slice with Shiva. Thank you.